Hello there, welcome to the Briar Patch. This venture into consistent online monologuing is my meager attempt to kill two birds with one stone. One, to share thoughts that I have that are too long for people to read on Facebook. I seem to have more and more of these lately. And I'm growing weary of not being able to nuance and qualify or further explain certain points sufficiently in a way that proves effective to getting points across in a more developed way. But through a medium that's length doesn't catch you off guard while scrolling on your toilet. You don't have to read, you just have to listen. Secondly, it is a simple attempt to fill whatever minuscule corner of cyberspace that I can with Christian thought. This isn't specifically designed to be a sermonette or even a devotional. It really is just a place for me to share my thoughts. Thoughts that are often permeated with the gospel of Christ and what he has done, ponderings on lofty truths, and reflecting upon my own meditations. I really am nobody. But I find that there is a small audience of people who do seem to care about what I have to say. And as much as I have tried to point them to the people that I listen to, they may rather enjoy hearing me explain it. If these videos help those 4 or 5 people, then I'm satisfied. If it gathers an audience, then may God bless you all. If this indeed does grow and develop into something more systematic, robust, or theologically focused, then so be it. So here we go. Who am I? Nobody really. My name is Briar Lamb. Yes, Briar with an R. Briar like a briar patch. By God's grace, I have lived up to my namesake, and I have become something of a thorn in the side of many of my enemies, naysayers, and scoffers. I do not doubt this blog's ability to continue this seemingly spiritual gift of mine. Satan would have fashioned this briar into a thorn for Christ's brow, but by the grace of Christ, I pray to become a bramble that produces good fruit, Lord willing. I'm from the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, the place John Denver was referring to in Country Roads. I was raised in the shadows of the Blue Ridge Mountains, hunting and hiking through the hills, and grew up swimming and fishing in the Shenandoah River. I come from small towns, surrounded by simple people, country folk. I was raised between 2 families of farmers, trappers, hunters, outdoorsmen, factory workers, bluegrass pickers, Friday night fish fries, canning veggies, stringing beans, leveling trees, plowing gardens, picking potatoes all summer long, and growing up eating deer steak, cornbread, and squirrel gravy. Where most humans are made up of water, we are made up of sweet tea. I was born country, and that's what I'll always be. I was never really good at it, though. You see, I always felt inadequate. Standing on the shoulders of giants, I learned to hunt, fish, use a splitting maul, change a flat, work a garden, but I was never the pioneer spirit. I was bookish. I was very Joseph, a dreamer. I remember sitting in the woods and daydreaming of the trees coming to life, or imagining what the squirrels were saying to one another as they chatter back and forth overhead. I loved sneaking a book or a scrap of paper and a pen with me when we would go hunting. To my father's chagrin, it's hard to tell how many deer walked right by me while I was doodling or sleeping. I knocked down a few deer and a couple turkey and a menagerie of squirrels in my time, and I genuinely loved being in the woods. But while I came from people of the earth, I always felt like my head was in the clouds. I was fascinated with the war between the states and for the war of Middle Earth. I loved hearing stories from old folks of how they ran through the fields barefoot growing up as children, as well as satyrs dancing in the woods of Narnia. I enjoy good stories, good jokes, and good memories, shared or experienced, which I believe God the Father used to draw me to the greatest story ever told. There's much more that could be said about my life and testimony, but I wanted you to understand a bit of where I'm coming from. I am the narrator, and where corn don't grow, Travis Tritt or Whalen, take your pick. I thought I knew better. I dreamed about a life where corn don't grow. I tried to get away. I lived in Georgia and then Ohio. I tried a career in youth pastoring. I tried a career in hip-hop music. I worked fast food, factories, and housekeeping. I tried a lot of things and failed at a lot of things. But in God's good providence, I succeeded in getting married, settling down, living a stone's throw away from my childhood home, and have settled under the faithful leadership of a local 1689 church in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. I've since gone back to school to pursue a career in nursing, but I never stopped drawing, reading, writing, or dreaming. So here I stand, somewhere between the sticks and the bricks. I'm a paradox unto myself, a sinner called saint, a dying man called alive in Christ, red-handed yet justified. Each day I am still trying to figure out what parts are worth keeping and which ones need replacing. I'm not sure how long I'll keep up these posts, but however the Lord leads this in playing out, I hope to share my thoughts and in turn encourage, inspire, and even challenge the saints of God with my particular point of view, not because there's anything inherently valuable about my opinion, but because I do have one. In a day and age where information is being controlled and suppressed, I want to sprint towards the closing door on the freedom of speech with a megaphone cranked as loud as it can get, and I encourage you to join me in that endeavor. Pray for me, saints. You have been caught in the briar.